This is Rolling Stone, the story, and I want you to welcome Rolling Stone's first guest in this context, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Inge Beckmann. Welcome, Inge. Thank you very much for being our first guest.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
You're a born and bred Cape Town girl.
That's correct.
Tell us what that means for you. What does it mean exactly? How do you?
Well,
why do you say that?
Well, I'm Cape Townian, and yeah, it's an amazing city. I'm very grateful to have been a teenager in the 90s in Cape Town. It's a lot different now. I told you the other day we had proper characters walking around. It's a lot more commercial nowadays.
What kind of characters do you remember specifically?
Well, Lucien, the drug dealer. He had a beret. Not Mom, not that I was doing drugs. But he kind of had that industrial look down, you know. And then the lady that had her head cracked open right down to here by lightning.
By lightning?
Yeah, she was really interesting. And she used to kind of corner me outside my primary school in Kloof Street, actually Jan van Riebeeck. I went to Creche Primary School and high school in one road. So that's exciting.
Is it also true that your family has never moved?
No, they still live in the same house.
That
so
you were born in?
I never had to deal with that anxiety. Obviously, when I got older, I moved out. But
there was a fashion woman too, wasn't there?
oh yeah, the fashion critic. She used to wear monocolors and all acid-colored stuff, like pinks and greens and yellows. And she had a black wig. She kind of looked like olive oil, a little bit like olive oil. And she'd wear pink from her neck down to her feet with a bag, very 60s. And someone told me that she worked for Cosmopolitan, like years ago, like back in the day. I don't know if that's true, because she'd have to have a critique her, possibly. But she was cool to look at.
Gone to school in the same street, never moved house as a child. What did you do as a child?
Well, first of all, it's a seasonal answer. Winter is my favorite season, so I'm very comfortable right now. And my mom might remember this, but I used to wait for it to rain, and I'd put on my raincoat, and I'd head up. Because we lived kind of top gardens, so I'd head up into the mountain. You could still do that back then, and I'd walk on the pipeline. And that was one of my favorite things to do. It had to rain, though. That was part of the gig. Boots, jacket. And I also had a very stupid kite. And I used to wait for the southeaster to do its job, and I'd run all the way up Maltino and run down with the kite. I don't know. I just did kid stuff. And then, like, cool memories, like in summer my dad would catch crayfish. And it was also, yeah, Cape Town is just absolutely beautiful. I'm still, the mountain, after all these years, I'm still not used to it. It's so beautiful. And so, you know, on an aesthetic level, Cape Town was amazing.
In talking to some of the people that might have known you back then, including yourself, of course, there used to be it turns out you have a bit of a caring side. Yes. You certainly did as a child. A nurturing side,
I had a sidekick, though. I don't know, the last time I saw this guy, he looked like the missing member of Cradle of Filth. But back in the day, he kind of reminded me of Macaulay Culkin in not Bad Son, not that one, not Good Son, sorry. Bees Dead, My Girl. He looked exactly like that, like Macaulay Culkin, and he had the same glasses and everything. And we had this bug pigeon thing happening. So we used to save pigeons, and then I'd take it home. And because my dad grew up on a farm, he would teach me how to feed the pigeon by putting Pronutro in my mouth. And then the bird would pick the Pronutro out of my mouth. And then when I got a little older, I realized how disgusting that was, and that I could have, you know, contracted a couple of diseases. But still, I like that. And then one day I came home, and my mother was weird, and I went outside and I saw feathers. Oh, and we also had a dominee that lived opposite the house, and he went on holiday, and he made us look after his parrot. And we had this parrot, and the parrot was a bit of an asshole. Actually, I didn't like the fucking parrot. And then one night, in the middle of the night, actually, I gave it avo. And I gave it avo. Avocado. Sorry, it was me. I gave it avo, and then in the middle of the night, we heard, "Oh!" And then the next morning, it was dead.
You suspect you killed it?
Well, I think I only found out about the avo thing, but I mean, I had good intentions. I wanted to, change up its diet a bit. I mean,
okay. But then as a child.
But yeah.
Yeah. No. Go on here.
No. I didn't drown animals or anything like that.
Oh. It's good to know. Did you? When we were talking earlier, you mentioned in passing that, in actual fact, your mum's intention for you, and she's here tonight, Mrs. Beckmann, hello, was for you to actually be an opera singer. Yes, I think my mum did want me to pursue the more kind of classical route, which I did. In primary school, I had an amazing music teacher called Alicia Groenewald. Incredible teacher. And then, so I did a lot of, I stedfords, and I sang a lot in the Grote Kerk, actually, down at the top end of Adderley. And so that sort of stuff. And then in high school, I lost interest. I did choir for a couple of years, but I didn't have that one-on-one training anymore with her, because we had like I almost said an affair, but no, it sounds like a Murakami book. Yeah, that was really incredible, but it was just too formal for me to pursue opera. I don't know. So then I just blended, and I blended that kind of classical foundation that I had as a kid, and then in later life I kind of discovered jazz. So by the first project I was kind of blending it.
Send her in without a shield, break her heart, she wicked tender, strike her down with every sword, ask a hand, but take 2 fingers. We should hang their skin for drying, mad as white and keen as fins. They are rare as eggs from dragons. They were bred for our sew them up and cast them in fires fit for two-faced devils.